Equestrian Festival into what we call week 10, and it is into Horseware Island week, but we've got lots to review on last week as well with the Bainbridge 5-Star Grand Prix, and also youth takes centre stage into this week as well with the final of the Brain Juice U25 series. The good news is I've assembled a panel that can talk on all of that, and we're also going to be looking a little ahead at dressage this week with 5-star dressage underway over at the Adequan Global Festival too. So lots to enjoy on another sunny day here in Florida. Welcome to WEF Weekly. Well, it is Horseware Island Week and celebrating 40 years of innovation and passion for equestrian and pet products, including horse blankets, therapy products, clothing and accessories. Since 1985, they've been committed to connecting horse and rider, enriching the riding experience through quality and design. And thank you for riding with them throughout the years. Discover the latest from the range at horsewareisland.com as you head to their website. Thank you to them and to Dodd Technologies that bring us our live streaming every week, an industry leader in creative design and technical support services for sports, entertainment, corporate and special events as well. Visit them online too, as you'd expect, at doddtechnologies.com. And of course, our live stream also brought to you by the USEF, a supporting sponsor of our live stream, and in part with support of the US Equestrian Federation and the USEF network as well. So what are we going to be discussing this week? Lots to discuss this week. Like I say, it's a youthful week, and it was a youthful finish to last week as well with the conclusion of the Bainbridge 5-Star Grand Prix. The money raised to $500,000 last week, and stakes were raised with the big players all in town. It featured 6 of the world's top 10 and 9 of the world's top 20. But who was the winner? Hopefully you were watching to see how that played out, but we're also going to give you a little rundown of what that looked like, and this is how it came out. It was a win for Emilie Conter, who's joining us in the studio today with Portobello van der Fruitkopf. Harry Charles of Great Britain in second with Sherlock talking that youthful run, the top 2 under 25. And Henrik von Eckermann with King Edward, the wonderful World Championship gold medal Olympic winning combination for Sweden, finishing in third. Tom Wachman and Tabasco de Toxandre in fourth, also joining us today. Derek Kenny also flying the Irish flag just behind with 0K. And Katie Dynan, solid performance for the USA with Out the Blue SCF. In fact, the top US finisher in that Bainbridge Grand Prix as well. So that's what it looked like on Saturday night, but of course it was a week stacked with top-class competition. On Sunday afternoon, it took us to the MS 150 Classic, and Michael Murphy and Cada CM were the winners on a fast afternoon once again under a winning round format. It got faster and faster, as the format would suggest, and a flyer of a win for Michael put a 5-star notch against his name again, getting ahead of Henrik von Eckermann and Cian O'Connor, as you can see there. Dressage as well, and it was new records being set over at the para dressage too, with Fiona Howard, triple gold medalist from the Paralympic Games, setting a new record in the grade 2 at 83.276% with Diamond Dunes for Hofkasselmans. And the Avatar Music, they continued with an amazing success there, and we're looking forward to what's going to be a 5-star dressage over at that stadium venue this week as well. So lots to enjoy there. You can tune into us on Friday as I'll be taking you through the commentary of the freestyle for the 5-star. But let's take a little look back at last week. And like I say, we have 3 riders with us who are under 25 and really doing great things in the sport right now. Tom Wachman alongside me. Congratulations, top 4 in the Grand Prix for the Bainbridge Grand Prix. Happy enough with that?
Yes, delighted with it. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Fantastic run for you. And the winner of the Bainbridge Grand Prix, Emilie Conter, who has no doubt not stopped doing interviews ever since. Emilie, how's it all sinking in now?
It's starting to sink in. It still feels a bit weird, but yes, it's nice.
Excellent. And also at top of the under-25 world rankings as well, Carlos Guerreiro. Carlos, brilliant to see you in action there with the fantastic Shack Attack. Of course, you've already put major championships behind you as well. It's been an exciting year so far for you.
Yeah, it's been a great year so far. I've got the chance to step up a few newer horses into these levels, which is always very gratifying and satisfying when you've come along since they were young and then been with them through every step of the journey. So it's a very nice feeling.
And you were no doubt celebrating with the Conters as your future sister-in-law winning on Saturday night. Let's talk Saturday night and start with the Bainbridge Grand Prix and a rundown of what happened there for our top three. Like I say, it was an exciting rundown, and that included Henrik von Eckermann and the another good shot here with King Edward getting into the jump off after that big top five finish just a few weeks ago. It was wonderful to see them back in action, and as Henrik himself said here on the WEF weekly desk just a few weeks ago, that they were delighted to be very much back in the frame after a few ups and downs. Harry Charles made his first five-star run of the season, and for the 25-year-old rider, already an Olympic gold medalist, he was into second with Sherlock. Had no trouble solving the clues around the course. But Emilie Conter and Portobello van der Vroetkopf were our winning combination by nearly a second ahead of Harry Charles to get home. And we're going to take a full look at her round in the end. But it was Belgium, Sweden and Ireland at that point, but Great Britain in the mix there in second place as well. Emilie, has it sunk in yet?
It's starting to. It still felt like the day after when I woke up, I was like, did I just dream all this? Or was this real? Even my dad said, like, you know, it was real, right? It was not a dream. So it's really, yeah, it's something I could only dream of, and now it's finally starting to sink in. So it was, yeah, nice feeling.
And you've been with us throughout the season, but I mean, your grandparents were here as well, which was a nice addition in there.
Yes, they've been here for like 1 or 2 months already, so they were over the moon. They were very happy.
Excellent, big family occasion. Let's take a look at your round from Saturday night as well. Talk to me about it and how it is looking at it now. Talk me through it.
So first our plan was to do 9 in the first line, but I ended up doing the 10, but I kept my same speed. Here I thought maybe I was a bit too wide in the rollback, but I just kept coming. This one I liked a lot. I had my first shot, kept moving for the double, set it up here. And then I was like, okay, now we're running. We're gonna go running. So I tried to do my best to go for it. On this one was a hard one. I touched it. And then I landed and went. And then for a minute I stayed still, but then I heard Helena scream, go, go, go. So I was like, okay, go. So I went and
there's your sister.
A flyer,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard rumours your trainer, Helena Stillmans, was definitely encouraging from the sidelines
yes,
there.
It's crazy. You heard it from the other side of the ring. It was so loud, but it really helped me.
It helps you.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of a top
me.
trainer. That's the point. But you've been working with her for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, for 3 years now.
Yeah.
We started here, yeah.
And for those that weren't paying attention, I mean, I was looking through results and similar for you to Tom, which we'll come on to in just a moment. You know, you were top 5 in the NetJets Grand Prix. You finished well in Thermal in the Grand Prix there as well. For those who are following, this has been trending in the right direction.
Yes, we've been working really hard on to stay consistent with this mare and really take it slow on the right moments, but make a little changes. And she's just, every time I go in the ring, she's even getting better. I don't know how she gets better, even because she's amazing. But she's getting more mature, and it's really working out like that.
Yeah, she's fantastic. And she's 10?
She's 10 years old
yeah,
now.
So she's just hitting that.
She's
hitting the right point.
Yeah.
And how long have you had her?
Since she was 7, so 3 years.
I was looking through, because you came through the young horse classes with her in 2022.
Yes.
So you've had that time to
get, from the beginning.
Excellent.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right in the groove.
Yes.
Well done, Emilie. We'll come back to you on some of that as well in a few minutes. Let's take a look at second place and to Harry Charles of Great Britain, and back with Sherlock. Horse he's ridden to World Cup wins over in Europe before now, and with great success there. Again, solid round from Harry to finish second on the podium this time. Tom, similar age group to you and your brother from that point of view, just a few more miles on the clock. What did you make of Harry's round? Did you get to see any of it? Because obviously you were in the mix there as well.
Yeah, I went first to go in the jump off. I don't think I saw Harry's round, but my horse, I was delighted with him. First to go in the jump off, I had my own plan. I actually did less strides, probably. I did one less up the first line and one less to the last. and actually one less down to the double as well. But he's a little bit of a slower stride. I probably felt I could have ridden the jump off a bit smoother, but he jumped brilliant and he was double clear, so I was delighted.
Fantastic.
I saw Emilie's round, but I missed Harry's round.
Harry finishing in second spot. Henrik von Eckermann on the podium once again with King Edward. And I mean, Carlos, it's been great to have the world number one with us this season.
Yeah.
From the point of view of watching King Edward, what have you taken away from this? Because it's a good chance to get to see him up close and personal.
Yeah, I think Henrik is a fantastic horseman. He knows exactly when to push and when not to push. I think this combination specifically, you know, he knows King Edward inside and out. And he said in the press conference after the Grand Prix, I was lucky enough to be there, and he mentioned his start of the season kind of went wrong in a couple places in the jump-offs. He said King Edward was jumping brilliantly. I think he was clear in every World Cup, but the jump-offs, he maybe lost a little bit of confidence. And I think the plan was maybe not to bring him here in the first place. And I think it was actually a great plan in the end. He really built him up. And you can still see he's not going flat out like he could do with him before. But I think every week he's been taking a little bit more of a risk, and the horse seems to be getting his confidence back. So I think by week 12 he'll be in full gas. Is
it been a good boost for you guys as well? Because as I say, we had 6 of the world's top 10 you're competing against. It's good to get into that heat of competition, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I always say if you can win here, you can win anywhere. It's really a competitive place, no matter which classes, even the Sunday classes or the WEF. You always walk and you feel like it's quite a tough class, and you say, oh, maybe not so many clears. And in the end, there's a lot of good horse and rider combinations, and you get big, fast jump-offs. So if you can win here, you can win anywhere.
You come out stronger.
Yeah.
Tom, you came out strongly last week. Fantastic run for you. You were what, top 5 in the speed, you were top 3 in the Hermes Classic, and you were 4th in the Grand Prix. So it was a fantastic week of running.
Yeah, I was very happy. I actually had one down in the WEF, and I was a bit slow, and I didn't qualify. So the pressure was on the speed, because the top 10 get in from the speed. So
yeah,
I was lucky I qualified there, and the horse jumped good in the Grand Prix, and then Sunday went well as well. So
let's take a look at your round from the Grand Prix from that side of things. Tabasco, fabulous horse that I've seen with Kendra Brinkop before. You've built a really good relationship quickly too.
Yeah, he's a brilliant horse. I first saw him as a 6-year-old actually.
Okay.
Keane went to try him, and we didn't buy him on that day. And then actually, I'm sure Emilie knows the horse well. He was in Stefax. But
yes.
It ended up that Stefan Conter bought the horse in Lanark, and when Keane found out, he rang him up and said, "Oh, do you mind if I buy half the horse with you?" And then we went to try him about a year later. Max rode him, and we really liked him. We bought him out, and then Kendra obviously did an unbelievable job producing him right up to the top level. And I just started riding him last August maybe, and he's been a super horse. Took a while to get to know him and get to know his stride, and he's a little bit sensitive, but I think I'm building a nice relationship with him now. So.
And your jump off round, you talked about a little bit there. You were getting confident build up in that.
Yeah, I probably was a little bit deep on the rollback to number 3, and maybe to number 4 as well. But I was delighted with the way he jumped. I don't think the horse could have jumped better. So.
And in terms of that relationship, is it you finished top 5 in a recent World Cup qualifier as well up in Ocala. So it's been, the last few weeks have been a really good run for you on that.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. He was double clear in Ocala, 5-star. He was 4th and double clear last Saturday. So, yeah.
Feeling confident?
Yeah, so looking forward to the future with him.
Excellent, good. Lovely relationship, good to see that. Tom, as I say, lots of top 5s in there. What have you got out of this season so far? Because it's been a really good season for you.
Yeah, I've been delighted. Obviously, Keane's a massive help, and his whole team, so it's been great, and great to have all my family over here, and they're so involved in it, so they're a great support as well. So, yeah. You've
been training with Keane O'Connor for quite some time now.
Yeah, I think nearly 8 years now. So,
yeah. And you're the tender age of what, 20?
20 now, yeah.
Yeah. He's hit the big numbers now.
Yeah.
Carlos, let's talk your rounds as well in just a second, but also we're going to reflect a little, talking the family connections. We've also got some of Emilie and Zoe from the Nations Cup the other day as well, and you were obviously with sister Zoe. And from that point of view, that was a brilliant weekend for you both.
Yes, we were very happy. It's so much fun to be on the team together, because we've been on the teams together in juniors, young riders, and we had always twice we went together, and we had always a medal. So it was fun to be back here, and she jumped double clear with 1 time fold, and
Yeah.
I had 4 and 0, and the team it all worked out in the end, and we got our podium spot.
You were on the podium spot there.
Yeah.
How is it the two of you competing together? What do you like together?
We get along very well. Like, we are all day in, day out, we're together. We support each other through thick and thin always. And yeah, okay, we're still sisters. We fight sometimes.
Was this the first
But-
time you'd been on a team together, or you've been on one together before this?
A senior one? Or
Yeah, senior one.
Senior, let me think. No, I think a few years ago we did one here as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. But yeah, we get along very well, yes.
That helps. Well,
Yeah,
you've
it
got your
does.
other members of the team
Yeah.
in there, Nicola Philipparts, of course.
Yeah.
But from Zoe's point of view, she's had an amazing run. Carlos, I mean, she was down in Mexico at the shows there, and it's been a really big building time for Zoe as well. I know you can speak on that one.
Yeah, I think Mexico was a great few shows for all of us. Henrik was there, and every year it gets a little bit bigger and more European riders get to go, and the level keeps getting higher. It might not be as concentrated as it is here in Europe, but it's a great place. The prize money is getting better and better every year, and there's really some great shows. So I think it was a great build-up. I know all my horses came out stronger, and yeah, we're really happy.
Speaking of which, let's take a look at your rounds as well, because again, it all starting to the car's starting to fall in the right place. But one of the favourites, because a great name as well,
Yeah.
H5 Shack Attack, but a serious horse too. Carlos, talk us through your round here from the other night.
Yeah, I was really happy with him. Like I said in the beginning, he's been with me since he was a 7-year-old. Actually, there's a funny story. I tried him and Tabasco in the same week.
Okay.
And they were both 7-year-olds. I knew Tabasco also since he was a 6-year-old, and I was always a big fan of him. And I tried both of them in the same week, and I actually ended up with Shack Attack. So they're pretty much the same age and have been rising up through the levels. Shack Attack has been a little bit kept behind because I was lucky that I had quite a good string of horses in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I hadn't really stepped him up at all until this year. He'd done a couple 3-stars last year, and he's always been very, very talented. He has a bit of a tough body. He's a very big horse, so it was kind of working a lot on the flat with him and getting his strength back to where it needs to be. But the talent and the mentality has always been there, and I really believed in him, and now he got the chance to step up. He did 2 5-star Grand Prix here with unlucky 4 faults.
Yeah.
And he did the Nations Cup as well for Mexico and performed very well. So I have very big expectations for him in the future. I think he's going to become my first horse very soon.
Yeah, because you've had H5 Porthos Maestro that went through to
Exactly.
the Olympics and
Yeah.
and so forth. So you've had an amazing group, but an amazing team around that too. But what's Shack Attack's personality like?
He's amazing. He's like a big teddy bear. He's massive. Maybe you don't realize because
You're
I'm riding
quite
him
tall.
and I'm very tall. But when you stand next to him, he's really a massive horse. I think he's around 185. I don't know what that is in hands, but that's a massive horse. And he has a great personality. He's a joy to work with. His mindset is amazing. Everything you ask of him, he does it well. Like I said, he has a very big body, so he's still kind of learning how to use it, but he really wants, you feel that he really wants to do it well. And I think there's big things to come with him.
So he's as much fun as he looks.
Yeah, 100%. and the name, like you said, we didn't name him, but I think it's perfect. I actually got him from Sergio Alvarez Moya.
Yeah.
I think he had him since he was 5, and he changed his name to Shack Attack. He had a couple before already with basketball-themed names, and this one fits perfect.
I was going to ask you, a big basketball fan, or?
I am actually.
Yeah, I thought you might be.
And I'm a Lakers fan, so Shaq
It
played there,
fitted.
so it fit well. Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Good. Lots of exciting horses in there. It also is the week for the Brain Juice U25 series. Now, Tom, you're going to be in action in that this week. What's the plan this week for the final?
Yeah, I'm a bit down the rankings in it, but I have a good horse for this week, so hopefully she goes all right. Catalina.
Catalina.
She's an old horse of mine, and she's very experienced, so we'll see.
Excellent. Good. Let's talk some of that under 25 and take a look at the standings as they are right now as well in the Brain Juice U25 series, as Tom mentioned there, getting close to the final stage because the final is going to be here on Sunday. Hallie Grimes leads the pack at the moment, 3:10.5 in terms. Timmy Brennan winning at the semi-final a couple of weeks ago, sits in second for the young Irishman there. Emilie de Hoff after that, Isabel Eamon a little bit further back, really those top couple really in for the vying for the top. Niamh McAvoy has been over from Ireland as well, has been competing well for a top 6 as it stands, and Taylor Corley of course swept the board in so many of the equitation finals last year too. So as I say, we've had a strong group of U25 riders here, and Timmy Brennan topping that semi-final as well. So Tom, the young Irish have been out in force.
Yeah, I think we're lucky in Ireland. There's a lot of very good young riders, and the level is very high. Probably up through all the ponies, 12-2s, 13-2s, 14-2s, the level is very high and it's very competitive, so many of them turn out to be very good riders.
And Timmy's been over, he's working with John Roach, if I remember right?
Yeah, like I did lots of pony classes with Timmy, and the Europeans for juniors, we won a gold medal together, so we all know each other very well, most of the young riders in Ireland, and the level is high. Yeah,
looking forward to that. Tony Stormans, who finished second there again, only in his mid-teens already, despite the fact he's quite a tall chap, makes him look a little bit older. Emilie's smiling at this point, but I mean, he's son of your trainer.
Yeah.
And he's been going fantastically, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's riding brilliantly. Like, to be honest, he should get like an older card. Like, he needs to jump the big classes already, I feel like. So no, he rides brilliantly. I thought he was going to win, to be honest, because he left some strides out there. But Timmy was very fast, foot fast, so yeah.
Tony, looking forward to this week as well. Let's see how it goes. And for the Americans, Zaina Rizvi, who finished top 3 into that Grand Prix too. Of course, she's already had great experience through the levels of the under 25s, but also has been onto the teams for the US. And for all of you, I mean, you're all in that age group. It's important to get that, Carlos, because I mean, you've already gone up to a big championship level, but the more you could do, and you were doing these classes as well, and you're currently the top ranked under 25 rider, the more you can get out there, the better, and this really helps.
Yeah, I've been doing these since I was 15, since my first few seasons here at WEF, and it's amazing how much it's built up. Now you really take a look at those classes, and they're so competitive. I mean, this year I wasn't really doing them because you really need a fast horse to be competitive, and I really don't have a speed horse this year, but every other year I've really tried to do it every week, and it helps a lot. I mean, you jump on the grass, you jump under the lights, you have a water, you have everything to build you up into a rider like that, even a Nations Cup, so it really has everything, I think.
It's been good preparation. For you, you've already been through to Paris with the squad there as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel that was a big growing up part of your life?
Yeah, I think it was an immense part of my life. It's been a dream since I started riding. I didn't know how early it would come, but I'm really happy it came early enough, and I think I learned a lot during that week.
And you've got plenty more to come to, which
hopefully.
Is fun. LA 28, here we come. For all of you, the categories have been good, but I mean, like for you, Tom, you came through young riders, that's the under-21s with gold medals fantastically. And you're already in the age group, you can still carry on with that.
Yeah, like one big goal for us every year is getting on the Irish team for the Europeans. And it's difficult to get onto, but if you do make it onto the team, you're lucky you're going there with a strong team and you have a good chance. So yeah, it's exciting.
We've got a couple of Yorans from competing here in the under-25s as well. Catalina was the horse you were just talking about, and does she fit into the category that Carlos was just saying? You need a bit of speed in this.
Yeah, she's very fast. I haven't used her much. She had a little problem with a shoe and just had to take a few weeks off, but she's back in action this week. And I actually rode her the last 2 years. Last year in the Young Rider Europeans, we won team gold and I was 6th individually, and the year before in the juniors we won team gold again and she was 2nd individually, so she's so solid and she's reliable and very fast. So yeah, it's nice to have one like that in your string.
She's proved herself. This was from one of the speed classes a few weeks ago as well. As we can see, she can certainly turn up to a fence. I mentioned with Emilie obviously competing against her sister, you compete against your brother, Max, and actually you were on those same young rider teams.
Yeah.
And your sister Alice is coming through as well from that side, point of view. Talk to me about Max, 21 now.
Yeah, we get on very well together and we work well together and we discuss ideas about horses and other things, and yeah, like he's been already very successful winning an Aga Khan, which I think is a dream for most Irish riders, so he got to do that very young. So yeah, he helps me and I try and help him when I can, and yeah, we get on good together.
It's been an amazing, like I was to say, and your sister Alice is coming through as well.
Yeah, Alice is doing well now as well, so yeah, she might be better than a lot of us.
You might have a full Wachman Nations Cup team yet.
Yeah, maybe, you never know, yeah.
I know you're heading on to one soon as well. From all of you, it's been a good season so far, and to look forward, I mean, Emilie, now you've come out of this, you've won a 5-star Grand Prix. Does this sort of, you've got Rolex Grand Prix coming up in a couple of weeks, does this sort of change how you think, or do you have to go, deep breath, we've done a lot already?
Yeah, I'm for sure gonna take a deep breath. I'm doing next week the League of Nations, which is very exciting. We've been working up to it as well. The Rolex week is coming right after. I'm gonna see how my horses feel. If they feel in good shape, I'm gonna do it as well. So yeah, that's the plan. We keep on going.
Excellent. We'll have a look at some of your other rounds through the season as well. And for you, Portobello, this is the one that you've really shone out with, but you've got a super string of horses around you, and some of them have come from your own stallions as well.
Yeah. So my second mare, Trixie,
yes,
from Tobago, she's been very consistent like the past month. So she's really a horse you can count on to do the big fences as well, the big horses. So I'm really happy to have her. Then I have some other 2 horses that are just like, I jumped 2 weeks ago in the 4-star Grand Prix for the first time, and he's up and coming. So, and I have a few others that are up and coming as well. So it's very excited to build them from 145 up to the bigger level, hopefully.
Excellent. And Zoe the same, well mounted, but yeah, coming through, and the 2 of you coming through together and as a family.
Yes.
I would think that's been fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's really nice. Our dad is supporting us, our whole family. But it's been really fun that we get to also get the young horses. Or, like for example, Tombola, she was 7 when Zoe got her, also build her up. That's what we do. Like we get them young and we build them up to hopefully the highest level they can.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and
yeah,
a really good run for you. And as I say, looking forward to seeing your European campaign as well. Yeah. I think Dad was back at home, wasn't he, last week?
He was.
He was blowing up the phone, no doubt.
Well, he was sleeping.
We had
to wake him up. We had to wake him up to say like, hey, what?
I mean, it was sort of 1 in the morning in Europe.
I
or so, 1 or 2
I know.
in the morning.
But well, my mom was watching, so
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But no, he was fine. He called me the day after so many times, so he's totally off the hook for that.
I know he was very excited about it.
Yes, but he's coming back next week. Yeah, next week, I believe. So.
Carlos, we're going to take a look at some of your rounds, but really what I wanted to talk to you about as well is you've all got family connections in the sport, whether it's the Wachman side, which we'll talk in a few moments' time, and for you, I mean, your whole family gets involved riding here. Give me a little bit of a rundown of the family Hank that's competing, and for those that follow the H5 that don't know, what is the H5?
Yeah, so the H5 stands for Hank, the H stands for Hank, and there's 5 of us in the family. It's always been a family adventure. My mom was the one that actually got us into it. My dad was more into car racing and business up until he was, I think, 30, 32 or something like that. And he found himself every week at the shows following my mom with the other horse show wives in Mexico. And he said, I can't be doing this. My friends are also riding. So he started, and yeah, it all went crazy from there.
And he competes in the rings here as well.
Yeah, he competes actually, and my mom doesn't anymore. So she kind of left
changed
him.
Around.
Yeah, changed around, and he's very competitive. And normally my sister's here. This year she decided to do 1 year independently in Spain, so getting some experience over there as well. But usually we're all based down here together.
And in terms of the rest of the group with H5, Eduardo de Menezes, talk to me through the team behind it.
Yeah, they've become, Eduardo Menezes and Enrique Gonzalez, they've really become family. They've trained my parents since I was born, so they really know me as a baby. and they've been the only trainers I've had, so I've learned everything I know from them, and they've been great mentors. They've both been to big championships and won big Grand Prix, and I think they've really built a good program for us. We've built up some really nice young horses, and it's a family affair.
Excellent. We're going to talk dressage for a moment. Well, I'm going to talk dressage for a moment because it is the 5-star dressage week. This week it's been a big season for dressage over there. 4 World Cup qualifiers that took place over there as well to the stadium, literally just down the road from us as well. And Felicitas Hendricks giving us the first of the wins in the dressage. Now we've had 4 World Cup different winners throughout the season too, and some spectacular nights under the lights. This was from a little from last year as well, where they came over to the jumping stadium here. But we're going to be over at the dressage stadium for all of the 5-star action next week as well. And so from that first week they were finishing top into the World Cups there. But it's been a competitive season in the World Cups in dressage as well. America doing superbly too throughout that, and as we just heard at the start of the programme with the para dressage having got underway, they came out with some big scores as well. Anna Marek coming out with the second of those big wins for the US as well, with the fabulous Firefly into competition there under the lights on a Friday night, and that's a reminder it will be on Friday night for the 5-star freestyle. But there's several big competitions obviously throughout the week, and we'll run down that for you in a few moments' time. Adrian Lyle finishing top of the World Cup qualifier, in the third of the World Cup qualifiers there too for the big competitions. And of course it was Nations Cup as well, and that was a big finish for Adrian. Again, it's going to be a big year for those building, especially for the United States, as they'll look towards the World Championships next year into Aachen. And Kevin Coleman of the US and the well-established pairing of Donissi also finishing top of their section in the big competitions so far, as I say, through those 4 World Cups we've seen so far this year over at dressage, and looking forward to an exciting field of those competing here this week as well. Felicitas is in action, as well as is Kevin into the lineup, and Anna and Adrian all vying for the top places in the 5-star dressage this week. Like I say, we've got the qualifier coming up too. I'll tell you about the Grand Prix when that will be, and also say Friday going to be the freestyle. But let's get to some of the questions for my guests. Let's start with Carlos. Carlos, first for you, tips for beginner riders, and they're referring to athlete training, exercises to be a better rider. You're a fit chap, tall chap. What exercises do we go through?
Yeah,
what do you recommend?
I think the taller you are, the harder you have to work a little bit, because every movement you make on top of the horse counts a bit more. So I've done that in the last couple of years more than anything, preparing for the bigger level. I think working your core is very important. You already work kind of the lower part of your body quite a lot when you're riding. But I think the core is very important to give a balance.
So give me one core exercise that's a core exercise.
One core exercise. The one I like the most is working with weights. So a weighted ab crunch is what I like to do the most.
Okay.
So you put a little bit of weight, and with a cable you do a crunch down. So just not only with your body weight, but you add a little bit more. So I like that one.
Okay, you like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds lots of fun. Great, but no, you're right. The core, the balance, that is, and the same for any of the horse sports. The second question was who came up with the name Shack Attack, but I think we covered a little bit of that.
We covered that, but yeah, previous owner Sergio Moya came up with it.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. He comes up with some good names.
Yeah.
Do you remember the other names he came up with in Basel?
I think he had King James already, which was a brother of Shack Attack, and was a very good one. And I don't know if he had another one. Those are the ones I can remember.
We'll look them up.
Yeah.
Emilie, questions for you. And first one was, how did you get into riding? You've touched on this a little bit. For those that don't know your background, give me the little short version.
Yeah, so I'm actually born into a horse family. My dad used to ride, and my mom as well. Not like on a high level or anything, but yeah, that's how it started. And I've tried other sports, but I always came back to riding.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Yeah,
Good
I've
choice.
seen- I've seen the
It's
other
working
one.
out well. But as you say, you've been surrounded, huge operation with
Yeah.
Stefex back in Belgium as well, and you run some big shows there as well as part of the Rolex series,
Yeah.
of course. But it's been fascinating. I mean, you've had riders like Daniel Deusser as based at the stable. It must have been really interesting growing up with all of that.
Yes, because he's been there a long time, like since I was super little. So growing up with him, it's been really nice to have him at the stable and to look up to him every day. So and now we have Kendra, who's also in around the top 30, I guess.
Yes.
So it's really cool. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and former rider of Tabasco. There
Yeah,
we go.
exactly.
Probably a question that's hard to put into just a few words. How did it feel winning your first 5-star Grand Prix, the Bainbridge Grand Prix there?
Yeah, to be honest, when I crossed the finish line, I couldn't believe it that I beat Henrik already. I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then just waiting in the warm-up until the others had jumped, and I didn't know how to react when it happened. I was so overwhelmed. But no, it feels really good.
Yeah, when you look at the podium, you've got a Team Olympic gold medalist on one side, and you've got
Yeah.
the world champion
I'm like,
gold
what am
medalist
I
on the
doing here?
and the world number one. You know, if you're going to win big. That's it. That was great. Final quick question for you. How do you prepare for a big class like that 5-star?
For
What are you
big-
like? Are you relaxed? Are you a nervy person? What's your...
I must say I'm kind of relaxed because I have like always I have to follow like how you say like walking the course. I do it in one certain way, or like getting ready for my horse. I do like I always have the same how you call it like
You have a routine.
routine.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's it. Even it's might sound crazy, but I always use the same bathroom as well.
Okay.
Like it's like
I do
something
that.
spiritual. Because then last time I took the other bathroom
You
and
also
I
know it's-
wasn't clear.
I do
So
that. I do that. Yeah.
I'm not using that bathroom. I'm going there.
Okay, so we've got a full routine.
Yes.
But that mentally keeps you where you want
Yeah,
to be.
if like I have to be very consistent in my head and with my plan, and then mentally I'm way more relaxed then, and then I can put the full focus on my horse if I start overthinking anything. So
Excellent.
yes.
Tom, let's come to you. And for people that don't know your background, how did you start riding, and what influenced you to become who you are today? You obviously come from a huge racing background. Explain that a little bit to the viewers at home.
So Max actually started riding. Obviously, a family is in racing and very into racing and involved. So Max started riding, and he started going to a few shows. And then I didn't like riding in the beginning. I liked playing hurling. And
Okay. So
it's an Irish sport.
it's an
Okay.
Irish sport. It's a pretty violent Irish sport as well.
Yeah, and then I don't know, maybe when I was 8 or 9, I started riding at a riding school in Tipperary, and just went on from there. Started doing ponies, and I really enjoyed doing the ponies in Ireland. It's very competitive, and then worked away. I met Keane when I was 12, and then started training with him and started doing the 14-2 ponies, and was lucky enough I did a few Europeans, and they went well, and then started going into horses, and yeah, so
It's been a big family background, because it's the Coolmore operation for those that aren't aware around the world, and your grandparents with John McNair and Susan have been
yeah.
two huge parts of the racing world, and then your parents as well with David and Kate.
Yeah, so we're all into horses, everyone in my family, but yeah, not so much show jumping before us, but now they like watching the show jumping, and they're very interested in it.
If you look at the racing world, you're massive. For you, though, we were talking that you didn't fancy being a racing jockey.
No, I'd say I'm a bit too heavy to be a flat jockey anyway, and yeah, I liked show jumping, and I liked doing the ponies, and then just progressed into horses, so yeah.
It's the natural progression.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I guess so,
fantastic, brilliant. How do you feel about competing against your brother and probably your sister on a regular basis?
It's good. I mean, we're obviously very happy for each other when they win, and competitive as well, like in the speed class or in the jump off, try and beat each other, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and hopefully one of us has a good day.
What are you and your brother like down in the tunnel if you're going near each other? Are you like, I'm going to...
I know we're grand. We get on well and go through our plans together, and yeah, it's good. We just wanting each other to do well, and then try and go in and do a bit better. But if you can't, that's the sport. You have to go in the next day and try again.
You can all sit around the kitchen table. It's fine.
Yeah.
Same with all of you. Great. Let's take a little look at what's coming up this week, because we feel like it's a quieter week, but it's not. It's a very busy week here in Wellington this week. And let's just review a few of the leaderboards as well as they stand so far as we come into the final stage of the season. Leading Lady Rider, presented by Martha Jolicoeur, Douglas Elliman Real Estate. It's Emilie Conter.
I didn't
Emilie.
know that.
Ah, there you go. Leading Lady Rider right now. You've deposed Natalie Dean, who was leading for quite some time. Lily Keenan in third there, Alex Volpe in fourth, and Laura Crouch top 5. So leading international rider, Ben Mayer's been holding on to that for a little while now and still remains at the top of that, presented by Michael and Wendy Smith. Spencer Smith finishing in second at the moment. Luis Fernando Larrazbal, who was leading in the early part of the season, and Emilie Conter, you're in fourth. Top 5.
How?
Yeah, I love the look of disbelief on your face.
What?
You've been going so consistently, that's the point. And Don Littlemaster, you can't go in this one, Emilie. This is for the not under 25s. Lauren Brody is leading that with Nutu at the moment, and Jan Reid in second, and Nora Keefe top 3, presented by Rushi Marsh Farm. And the leading hunters right now features Jeffrey Hesslink and Jacob Pope quite strongly in our top few. In fact, both of those continuing on the top 5 with Sandori at the top of the most points so far. And that's presented by the Ingate. And we're going to be over at the Ingate Dressage this week as well. So what's the timetable looking like for Dressage for a big 5-star week? Well, the Grand Prix is going to be on Thursday at 4:30. For that onwards, and then Friday sees us at 7 o'clock with the Grand Prix Freestyle. So you're very welcome to come and join us over there and follow online as well. Jumping wise, let's take a look at the week for those over the coloured poles here onto our Worcester Island Week 10, and that's going to kick off tomorrow with the Challenge Cup, and I'm going to be taking you through that through around about midday. Is the plan as we go on air. That's the plan to be seeing for that class tomorrow as part of the 4-star. It's also Young Horse Finals week, and it'll see the mainstream 5-year-old Young Jumper Classic with the final on Friday. Also Friday for the North Star 6-year-old Young Jumper Classic as well. And also Friday, because that's the finals day, we'll see the Lovester Future Challenge 7-year-old Classic too. So some fantastic young horses in action in the international arena this week. Friday for the big 4-star week, Dog Technologies 150, and then Saturday is the Horseware Island Grand Prix, $215,000 there on a Saturday night with us. Sunday, we are going to be into the 4-star first thing in the morning, $62,500 class with the MS 150 Classic. Final week of that before the final next Saturday. And Sunday sees us to the $50,000 Brain Juice U25 Series final as well, a little of what we touched on today. You can follow all the dressage, the international ring, derby rings, all the rings here, and hunters as well, all week long. And head to the website, wellingtoninternational.com, and USCF Network as well. Remains to say thank you very much to my guests. All 3 of you, good luck. It's great to see 3 people doing so well at the very start of their careers, early 20s, and I look forward to seeing you here in 20 years' time when we're discussing the gold medals and all the other things that you've won from that point of view. Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And very, very well done, all 3 of you. Good luck into the Rolex week for that US Equestrian Open, US Open as well. Looking forward to that. It is remaining to say thank you to USEF, supporting sponsor of our live stream, in part with support of US Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network as well. Dog Technologies are live stream presenters too, industry leaders in creative design and technical support services for sports, entertainment, corporate and special events as well. Visit them at dogtechnologies.com. And of course to Horseware Island, our presenting sponsor here this week as well, celebrating 40 years of innovation, passion for equestrian and pet products as well, including horse blankets, therapy products, clothing and accessories. And since 1985, they've been committed to connecting horse and rider, enriching the riding experience through quality and design. Visit their website at horsewareisland.com. That's it for this week. We look forward to seeing you next into our jumping tomorrow morning. And into the early afternoon as well. As I say, we're going to be into the WEF Challenge Cup. Dressage later on in the week as well. Friday night for that. Saturday night for the Horseware Island Grand Prix. We can see how everybody gets on this week. And concluding on Sunday with the Brain Juice U25 final. That's our final word. We'll see you soon from WEF Weekly.